Hey guys, how's it going? Andrew here, Enough Said Cards on Thursday evening. Hope everyone's having a good week. I've been watching a couple of your end of the year recap videos, and I really enjoy those types of videos and just seeing everything that everyone picked up for the year. So I figured I'd do one of my own. I'm going to go through these kind of quickly. I don't have an enormous amount of stuff, but don't want this video to drag on for too long. The stuff I'm going to show you is essentially everything I picked up for the entire year, and with the exception of stuff that I picked up for my kids, and maybe a handful of like dollar box items that I got along the way. But this is pretty much it. And then I'm going to show at the end. I'm going to just discuss a few goals that I have for 2019. So we'll get right into it. I start off the year. Actually, the first couple items are like memorabilia type items, which isn't usually what I go after. And but I saw this on eBay. This is a 1904 Red Sox program. It's just in incredible condition, and I've bid on a few of these in the past in auctions, but this one was really exceptional. I thought it has Jimmy Collins on the front there, and then Nuff Said McGreevy, an ad for his bar on the bottom there, which I thought was very cool. I'm not going to take this out of the protection that I have it in here, but if you're interested in seeing the inside pages, you can look back and find the video I made on this. And the really cool thing about that item is that Cy Young pitched against Addie Joss in that game, and it's scored inside the program. Um, Next up, also in January, I picked up this Spalding Guide composite team picture of the Red Sox. This is from a 1906 book. This is the 1905 team, and I paid $10 for this. On the bottom right is Jesse Burkett, and the reason that I picked this up is because I needed him for the Red Sox Hall of Fame project that I've been working on for a long time and actually completed uh, with a later item this year that I'm going to show you in a few minutes. Next up, I purchased this from a gentleman on Net54, and this is a picture of Nuff Said McGreevy. This is a photograph, and Red Sox trainer from the early 1900s, Charlie Green there, and I believe this was taken at the 1908 Hot Springs, Arkansas spring training. And I'm basing that on some other photos that I saw that appear to have been taken this same day. So thought that was a cool item. Picked that up for $75. See if I can get the glare off there. There we go. Next up, this is a 1906 Fan Craze card of Lou Krieger, who was Cy Young's kind of like personal catcher. Thought that was kind of a neat card. Next, we're into February now. The Fan Craze card was in February. Really love this pickup. This is a T206 portrait of Napoleon Lajoie, and I've been looking for a long time to find a centered card. This one's almost perfectly centered with really nice registration. Piedmont 350. Next up, another T206 portrait. This one is Ed Walsh. PSA 5, another card that has pretty nice centering. I always love the color on this card, that kind of unique background color, which contrasts with the really dark uniform there. I thought that was pretty cool. Next up, another postcard. Or actually, this is the first postcard. Red Sox warming up, Fenway Park, Boston, Mass. Kind of a cool photo there. And this is postmarked in 1916. You can see it right there. And kind of cool thing about this one is whoever is writing this talks about being in Boston for the World Series. That's the 1916 World Series. So thought that was kind of neat. Next up, this might be my favorite item I picked up this year. I don't usually go after autographs, but I just thought this was exceptionally cool. This is a postcard that was sent from Hot Springs, Arkansas. The Eastman Hotel is where the Red Sox would stay in spring training. And it was sent by Joe Lannon, you can see on the bottom there, who was the owner of the Red Sox, and sent to Nuff Said McGreevy. And there's pretty cool baseball content in here talking about going for the pennant this year, and just really thought that I had to own this. And I bought it raw. I got it graded at the National. And I also, it came together, I got this on an eBay auction with another postcard from 1917. This is another postcard that was sent to Nuff Said McGreevy from Hot Springs. I guess in that year he did not go to spring training. So really loved those pickups. Next, T206 Frank Chance portrait. Got this one at the Chantilly show in April. We're into April now, and this is a SGC 3, but I thought this was a really nice 3. There's no creases on the card. The color and clarity of the picture are really good. Corners are rounded, but really like this card. Didn't pay a lot for it. Piedmont 350 back there. Next up, we have a PC 796 Tris Speaker Sepia postcard. This is from 1910. I bought this raw also in April. This was something that was posted on Net54. It was raw and wasn't something I had really been looking for, but there are very few of these. I think there's like 6 graded. And I guess once I graded mine, there's now 7. But I got this graded at the National. It came back at SGC 2.5, and it was just something that I decided I had to pick up because you just don't see them. And I think the picture also is very cool. Tris Speaker there. Put that one over here, if you can't see. Next up, we're into May. I picked up this National Game card of Smokey Joe Wood. This is a PSA 8. And I got this off eBay. I had it on my watch list for a while, and I got it on one of those 15% off deals. Didn't pay a ton for it. I think it's a pretty cool picture there. Into July. Got this at the second Chantilly show of the year here in Virginia. This is a Chief Bender T206 portrait. This is a SGC 5.5. And I found this, a dealer was selling this. A dealer I'd bought some stuff from before, and just thought this was a really sharp portrait. This is a Piedmont 150 back. And just like the centering and that really beautiful color and nice clear image of Chief Bender. Next up, real quick, another postcard from the Eastman Hotel. This was just sent by someone who was staying at the hotel and kind of thought it was cool. They talk about having dinner with the Boston American Club. So that was like a $5 or $6 pickup. Another postcard here. This one shows Franklin Park in Roxbury, Mass. And the cool thing about this one, this is postmarked 1912, is that they talk about the being at the World Series between the Giants and the Red Sox down there on the bottom. Giants and Red Sox in the World Series. Another postcard that I just paid a couple bucks for, but thought that was cool. We're into August, by the way, now. These next couple are pickups from the National. Got this T200 Fatima team card of the Cleveland Americans. And this one is pretty cool because Shoeless Joe Jackson is in the back there. And Napoleon Lajoie in the front also. This one goes for actually, this is maybe the most sought after and expensive of the T200s because of Shoeless Joe Jackson. His cards where he appears solo are very expensive, so seems like people, including myself, go after these team cards, things like this, to keep the cost down a little bit. But was happy with that one. Let's see. This is another one of my favorite pickups of the year from the National. Got this 1914 Cracker Jack Tris Speaker cards. This is a PSA 2. Has really exceptional eye appeal, in my opinion. Corners are pretty good. Beautiful dark red background. Perfect clarity on the picture there. There is some staining, some toning on the card, some staining there on the back from the Cracker Jacks from the caramel. But I was just really happy with this card. This is centered really nicely. So I was thrilled to get that one. And also from the National, this 1921 Exhibits Babe Ruth card. Just love this picture. And if you watched my video where I showed this, I had purchased the previous day a Cy Young T206 portrait card, which I owned for one day, which I don't usually do, but ended up selling it because I had found this and got a good deal on this, and thrilled to have this, but now I need to go find another Cy Young. And also at the National, a couple smaller pickups. I got this 1960 Red Sox team card. Paid a couple bucks for that. And actually, sorry about that. I got this 1964 Yaz card, PSA 6. Picked that one up also at the National. Now we're into September. This is probably not monetarily, but as far as my collection, my biggest pickup of the year, because I had been searching this card literally for years. This is a 1906 Fan Craze Jimmy Collins, and this was the last card I needed for my Red Sox Hall of Fame set that I'm going to show in a separate video. Actually said I was going to show it a while ago, but just haven't had a chance. So really, really thrilled to have gotten that one. Another Net 54 purchase. This is a Sporting Life postcard from 1906 that shows Branch Rickey. And if you consider postcards to be cards, this is Branch Rickey's first card. Thought that was cool. It was sort of an impulse buy when someone posted it on Net 54, and just I thought it was really interesting, and these are pretty rare, and so I picked that one up. Next up, another eBay purchase, another T206 portrait, this one of Hall of Famer Bobby Wallace, PSA 5. Really like the centering and registration on that one also, kind of what I look for, especially in the portrait cards. It's a Piedmont 150. Another Net 54 pickup. This is a Veen Gregg 1915 Cracker Jack in a PSA 3. Thought this was a really nice looking 3. It has a crease there on the corner. Really nice color centering. And has some of the typical staining, but not too bad. Just really like the look of that card. And also in September, the Philly show, where I met Ray for the first time with my son Jack, and also I met Ray. I picked up this lot of 5 cards. These are E135 Collins McCarthy cards from 1917. I got a Olaf Henriksen. That's what the backs look like. Harold Janvrin, Jim Walsh, Chester Thomas, and Dick Hoblitzel. Those are a little bit hard to find. That set, not super scarce, but you don't see a ton of them. Only have a few things left. In October, picked up this T206 Christy Mathewson portrait, SGC 5. Absolutely love this card. I think it's a beautiful example of this card, and I was thrilled to win this in an auction. Overpaid a little bit, but you just don't see them come up all that often that look like this, so I went after it, and I'm glad to have it. So got that one. 2 items left. Got this postcard, section of Grandstand, Fenway Park. This is from the teens. I don't know exactly what year. Made by Mason Brothers and Company. Just thought that was a really cool image of Fenway Park. One of the, Fenway, of course, was built and opened in 1912, so it's a pretty early image of Fenway there. And then finally, I showed this the other day, my last pickup of the year, and another card that I am thrilled to have in my collection, E103 Williams Caramel Honus Wagner card. So overall, I'm very pleased with the cards that I got in 2018. In 2019, I picked out a couple things that I am looking for. I want a T206 Cy Young portrait to replace the one that I owned for one day at the National. That might be the number one thing on my list. I also want a Ty Cobb red background portrait T206. A few other things, a 1935 Diamond Stars Hank Greenberg, and Brian Roth has been helping me look for one of these, and he has pointed out a few. I'm just, haven't seen the exact right one yet. So Brian, bear with me. I really want to pick up that card. Also, potentially a 1948 Leaf Jackie Robinson, which is a little bit outside the norm for me because that's not a pre-war card, but I really love that card and would love to pick one up. I'd be thrilled if I could find a affordable E220 or E253 Babe Ruth card. The E220 is the National Caramel from 1921. The E253 is the Oxford Caramel, also from 1921. They're both pretty tough and not inexpensive, but hoping I may be able to find one. And then finally, the last thing that I want to do for 2019, well, not the last thing, but the last thing I'm going to mention is I need 3 cards for my T58 1910 set of fish cards. And I'm actually going to a small show this weekend, and I know there's a dealer that sets up that has non-sports cards. So hoping that maybe I can find them there. If not, that's a 2019 goal for me. And we just hit 17 minutes. So for those of you who have made it to the end, thank you for watching. I would encourage any of you that haven't already done so to do one of these end of the year recaps. I love seeing everyone's pickups. Take care. I will talk to you soon. Bye.